Good morning. I'm Michael Littlecrow, and I'm your instructor for MAT117, this B session in summer 2020. I'm in my office hours and have a few minutes. I just want to get this message out to each of you to say you're always welcome to drop by office hours, that the reason they're here is to answer any questions you have. Of course, so it's not mandatory, but stop by, say hi. And especially if you have questions, we can work through things together. I can get into Alex. I have ability to write on the screen and show you how to work through things. I have a calculator. Let me share my screen and I'll show you some of the things I have just so that you can be comfortable in moving forward. So here is, and the other thing I want to, and notice I may not look like I'm looking at the screen because I spilled some coffee on my laptop, and so the screen is dark. The webcam's right in front of me here, but I've got, my monitors are on either side, so sometimes I'm looking here or there. And so sometimes when you're in office hours, I'm looking at you, but it doesn't look like it because I'm not looking at the camera, okay? So here we have Canvas in student mode. So this should be what you see. For those of you who have not gotten started yet, and even those who have, the first thing you do is always come through Canvas, go to Alex, and then go to Alex in a new window. And that will bring up your Alex account. Alex is where we do everything. The first time you will see this, and again, those who've already linked it, you've seen this, answer no, I have never used Alex before. And that's true because from this particular Canvas account, you have not used Alex. So it's linking your Canvas account to Alex, and that's never been done for this particular Canvas account, even though you may have done that before in another class. So you click on continue. It will populate with your first name, all this stuff. You can go ahead and leave that as is. If you have a two-word last name like I do, Littlecrow, it will be helpful. So I have to go through and fix some of these. Sometimes it breaks it up, and if I know this because sometimes I get listed as Crow, sometimes I get listed as Little, but not always as Littlecrow. So putting a hyphen will help keep that last name together. Okay. Otherwise, just kind of accept everything that's here because it should populate with your email address, that kind of stuff. Agree to the terms, and then click continue, and that will link the two accounts. I'm not going to do it here because that would create an additional Alex student account, and I have another way of doing that, so I'm not going to do it here, but you would continue and that would take you into Alex. What I'm going to do is from my teacher account, I can enter a student view of Alex, which I'm going to do, and so this is where basically you would go next. You start off, it gives you these little welcome screens and tells you some information. I just usually take a drink of coffee while that's happening. Except it sits there, so you go next. I guess you can close it. You're gonna it has us work through these tools, tutorial to kind of get you to see how things work. So click here, type 14, get rid of it, bring it back. So it's just showing you how to do everything, how to get a fraction. Well, just click on that. Now you got your fraction. You got 2, click down here, 2/3. Very good. Okay, I'm going to skip the rest, but you'll go through this. Not every time, just your first time through. So it tells you how to use the tools. That's great. And then you come in and again, it gives us this little welcome thing. You want to start your knowledge check. This is so important to get this done first because nothing else happens in the course till this is completed. It's going to check your understanding, your current understanding of college algebra. What you don't know, it will provide resources to teach you it so that you can master those concepts. You don't want somebody else taking this for you. You don't want to get help while you're doing it. It's not recorded or anything, but for your own benefit, you want to show Alex what kind of knowledge you have so that it can provide a customized course for you. Some of the things you do know, you will sort of test out of them and it moves you along. Again, you will take tests that include those concepts, but it won't give you the resources to learn them because it says, oh, you know this stuff. So you start a knowledge check that I can click on. Again, it gives you this screen that tells you how to prepare, stay focused, take a deep breath, don't get distracted. The knowledge checks are not timed. In fact, if you need to stop, you can actually close down your computer. When you come back into Alex, it will pick up the knowledge check wherever you left off. However, it should take maybe 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour at the most. Do your best, but at the same time, if you honestly don't know something, you can click on the I don't know, okay? But only, use that for ones that you really don't know, have no clue. If you have an idea, go ahead and give it a start. But again, if you just, I don't know, don't click on no solution, just click on don't know, and it will say, okay, we'll give you this, we'll teach you this concept. I have the ability to skip a knowledge check, so I'm going to do that at this time. It'd be nice if you had it. And I can choose sort of it. I'm going to say that I've got a complete knowledge. What this allows me to do is go back through the review mode to particular places. So if you've got questions, what this does, it allows me to go into student mode. And then since I've now mastered everything, would be nice, right? I can now go back into review mode, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so yeah, I did great. I did everything with just a click of a button. Now, one of the things is what you'll see here in this button usually is continue my path. And that's what you need to do is come into Alex, continue your path, keep working on what you have to learn. Again, I checked off the thing that I don't need to, and it will give you the graph domain range of a logarithmic function. So you probably wouldn't be starting here, but it gives you questions. There's this explanation. So you start, this explains what you're supposed to do with it. And if you have any questions, that's what office hours are for. We can pull these up and you let us know. This wording of the topic up at the top is very important. If you send me an email with that, I can pull that same topic up, okay? And so let's talk about topics. So now you can do in learn mode until you finish it, and then afterwards you go into review mode. So I'm going to show you this little trick. So as you get close, as you finish the first objective, you'll be ready for a test. What you can do then is go back into review mode, just like I did, right? Click here, review mode. You click on the drop-down arrow, that little drop-down arrow. There's going to be another one up here in just a moment. You just have to wait for it to load. It's going to review everything, but what I want to do is I want to review Objective 1 for Test 1. There's 121 different topics in there. And what you're going to be able to do now is review for Test 1 in here. Okay. But that's 121's a lot of topics to go through. So I'm going to come back here and show you. So this is now, as you've worked through, you're going to, again, this week, your first goal is to get 40 new topics learned, whatever you have. So say you got 80 topics from the initial knowledge check. That doesn't, you're still starting, you still need 40 more topics. You had 0 topics from the initial knowledge check. You still, everybody needs to get 40 topics to keep moving forward this week by Sunday, okay? So that's why you need to do the knowledge check as soon as possible and then work on topics. That's all there is to this course, at least at the beginning. We'll bring in problem sets in a little bit, but don't worry about it till Sunday, okay? That's the only other thing. So working in Alex, taking tests. There are 3 written problem sets. We'll highlight those in another video. Don't even worry about them at this point. So in here, again, you can click on office hours. This tells you where my office hours are, my link, Tristan's office hours, his link. Okay. When you're ready for tests, here's how to take the proctored test. So these are instructions, do's and don'ts. Okay, so you want to start thinking about that. And then before you take each test, there is a study guide. Okay, now for test 2, 3, and the final exam, I'm going to jump a little bit ahead. The study guides are actual questions that have been pulled out of Alex, and your tests are made up of questions from Alex. Okay, so that's what you'll see. So I would suggest working through all of these, and you will be well prepared for the test. For test 1, it's a little different. Let me show you, once they've updated it. This is my first time taking a look for summer. So there's all these possible topics, which is a lot. But if you go to the study guide and open that up, it's a Word document. I have to bring it over here. It's also, it's not showing problems, but it shows a shortened list of topics. What you're going to want to do is copy each of these, or the ones, quotient of expressions involving exponents. I don't even know what that is, so let me copy it. And then let me go back into Alex, not that one. Let's get rid of that one. Let me go into this one. I'm in review mode. And then I could either look for it here, or I could go to filter. This is a better way. And then I can paste it. So paste it in, it brings up that topic. I click on it. Oh, shoot, these are easy. Piece of cake. I know that. Or, no, I don't know that. Let me do some of these. Let me practice. And that's the way you go through to prepare for that first test. So notice these are the topics you're going to focus on. Know all of these. Any 11 of these could be on the test. And that's what the test will be, 11 questions. 11 of these will be on there. Don't ask me to tell you which 11, because I'll be honest, I don't look because I can't tell you, so it's not important. Know this stuff, and you will do just fine on the test. Okay, and again, some of them maybe you can read and say, hey, I know that one, I'm going to skip over it. But if you're not sure, just copy. Remember, come over here, go to, let's see, what do we have to do? Go back. We have to click down here and then get to the filter. Let's get rid of that one and let's plug in this one. So now I can see what this one's all about and see whether I need to practice it or not. And again, I can pull up explanations and maybe that'll help me, oh yeah, refresh my memory. Okay, I can get more practice. This is the way, and you'll get multiple questions to practice to get you really ready for that test. What we want you to do, work on topics, complete objective 1. When you've completed objective 1, come here, review the test, the study guide, and then take test 1 as soon as possible. Don't wait for the test due date or the final deadline. Take it as soon as you can. Then what you do is once you finish test 1, you start working on the objective 2 towards test 2, okay? Test 1 is not on the final, only test 2, 3, and some additional stuff. So the final exam will not include the stuff from test 1. So do test 1, then start working on test 2, and that's how this course works. Just keep working in Alex, keep completing those, I think 362 topics is what 362 total topics are there for you to learn. And a couple tests, 4 tests along the way, test 1, 2, 3, and the final exam. And a couple problem sets, which we'll talk about later. That's the course. You earn your participation points by making those weekly goals, or if you don't make it for any reason, which hopefully you make each one of them, then you can earn the participation points by logging in regularly, read the syllabus, it'll show you, and putting in the required amount of time. Now, just to get you prepared, some of you will finish this course early. It's possible, it's doable. As you finish the 362, take the final exam, you could be done in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever your pace is. But we all need to be finished within the 6 weeks. We have that final deadline. That's as far as we can go, okay? When you run out of topics because you completed them all, then we'll work with you you will get the points for your topic goals because you don't have enough to complete, right? So don't worry about that. Focus on learning the topics, learning, mastery, mastery, mastery. And that's going to make this course go well. And then all your future math courses make a lot more sense and be a lot more doable. I have taught both of the other classes, the pre-calculus and the brief calculus for business majors. And students who do well, who work diligently in this course, have the basis to understand the new content you're going to face in those other classes. So be well. Stop by office hours. See Tristan. He's great. I've worked with him for several years now, and I really appreciate all he does in helping students. We're going to get you through this. Some of you are going to get through fast. That's great. Some of you are going to, there's going to be places where you're going to struggle. That happens. We're here. We're working with you and for you. So be well, keep moving forward, and stop in and say hi. Thanks. And now I've got to stop the share. Let's see, you see I look all over the place, and then I'm going to stop the recording. So be well. Thank you.